And I have the wrong setting for us to get started, but there we are. Welcome back to Horse Racing Radar TV for Horse Racing Today.net. Yours truly, Rich. And then to my left, Terry Hollywood Hay for this terrific Terry Tuesday at Parx, as we always start off the week. Interesting day yesterday, right? Some interesting horses, but thankfully a long shot hit on my pick of the day, or one of my picks of the day. Ended up 100 turning into 195. Terry unfortunately had his finish a close second there to a number 2 as well. What the hell is going on with the 2 horses beating the horses we think are going to win, Terry?
I don't know, but that happens a lot. So
yeah, well, that's not too much. Let's not get carried away. We do all right. As always, we have some free picks today, guaranteed tip sheet. Free picks today, I believe, are at, I don't remember where they're at because my brain doesn't work sometimes. Today, they are at Indiana Grand. How about that? Horseshoe, Indianapolis, it should be, right?
Yeah.
Make sure you use the link in the description below. Also, in the link today, if you like the show, you hit some tickets, we put a tip jar in there. Terry and I would greatly appreciate it if you went ahead and took advantage of that. Also, a good way to support the show is when the show's over, go over to horseracingtoday.net. You'll see right there, we'll put a link to today's show along with the race replay, all of our comments. When you're there, hit that HRT gear. Save 10% off. Get yourself a lucky number 13 or an even luckier number 11 hat, as Terry is sporting today. Of course, if you have any comments, good morning, Don Johnson. How are you? If you have any comments, Parx Racing, number 1, the 7. All right. Thanks for joining us, Magalita Garcia. Where are you coming from, Magalita? Let us know where in the world you're watching. We greatly appreciate that. We'll be watching race 1 in just a minute. We'll share with you the details as how that race plays out. Sherry will, Terry, not Sherry, but hey, it's 2025. He can be Sherry if he wants to. Tell us all about the conditions here, Terry.
It's a 7 furlong race, a claiming race, $7,500 claiming price, purse $21,000 for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 4 races.
Yes, let's see. You know what? I'm gonna try something new here. See what happens. Stage comments on stage. Live comments of viewers will appear on screen during your stream. Keep the conversation going. All right. Sunland Park, New Mexico. Beautiful. So these should just pop up. I don't know what's going on. I have to figure out how this thing works, but we'll just continue to do it the old-fashioned way. 7 furlongs, mandatory play today, over $300,000. Beautiful. Hopefully we can get ourselves some of that. One of those pick 5s, Terry?
That's right.
Yeah, we should have probably did some stuff with that. But anyhow, 7 furlongs, early speed, 33% of the time the horse that wins goes wire to wire, the rail. Dorothy's the Boss is the best post position you can have. 2 and 3 is the bonus. 4 through 7 a discount. 8 and out, almost fair. Terry, we do 1,000 simulations to see who has. This is our smart sheets. There is a link to the smart sheets in the description on YouTube, so you can follow along. Also, there is an explanation as to how they work in the YouTube description. So make sure you click on that so you can use them to your best. Terry, it looks like there's quite a few when the race gets started that will vie for the lead.
Yeah, there are about 3 or 4 that really have really close percentages as far as the data goes. And so it's anyone's guess who gets the quarter pole first.
Yes, while a bunch may want the lead, if you look down here, looks like the 7 is maybe lead dependent. And if he doesn't get the lead, could be a little bit of trouble in there. You got the 2 and the 4 mixed in there as well. You got a left arrow horse over here with the 5. That one is a horse that usually wants to be middle back, whose early speed puts them in contention. They tend to win a lot. Terry, horse is going to be all over the place here. You got some front runners, you got some pilots, co-pilots, but which horse, according to our comfort zone, or which horses are likely to get trips that look a lot like their best performances?
Well, several of them have pretty good seed zone numbers, but the 3 has the best, followed up by that 1. So they're going to be pretty comfortable in this race.
So it says that the 3 should try to run down all this speed up in front of it. You see here a couple of other items of note. The 7 horse, Take Time to Dream. 3-point speed figure advantage over everybody else from its last start. Andrew Byer says that's the minimum threshold. If a horse has a 3-point speed figure, really consider them in your picks. And then over here, our top 4 total pace horses. A lot of winners out of this group yesterday. Actually, the 5 is a tie there. But we see the 7 has a 9.6 advantage. So if we round that up to 10, every 5 points equals 1 length. So that means the early pace and the late pace for that E-horse could put that one 2 lengths ahead of everybody else at the finish line. Terry, who do you have winning?
I like that 7, Take Time to Dream. She has finished in the money in her last 5 starts, won one of the races, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then 4, Phone Eats First is my second choice. She finished poorly in her last race, but she was bumped at the start, knocking her way out of contention. Drops in class today, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. Then I like the 1, Dorothy's the Boss, ran second in her last race. The rail post winning 22% clip. She has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 17% of the races when taking a horse from his route to a sprint. And then the 6 is my long shot, Jump It's Fox. She won her last race, switches to high percentage winning trainer. No additional bets for me here.
There is a pick 4 here, Terry, in case you want to put one together real fast. I am going to go with the Take Time to Dream as my first pick there, too. 4 second place finishes in a row. Top last race speed figure. Drops in class. Top total pace, as we mentioned, of 10 points. You can see here we show which horses drop in class. Well, it's not dropping in class. Flat. So I have to probably take that out of there, Terry.
Yeah.
All right. Next up for me and my selections is the 6 horse. Jump a Fox. Needs a bounce back race to her April 14th run, and this horse would be in the winner's circle. The 2 horse, Fast Motion, should be the pace setter here, and not a lot of early speed types. It shows up in the E, but when you look at the actual pace numbers, maybe gets off to an easy lead. And then Dorothy's the Boss, consistent performer that could benefit from cutting back into distance. No, we're not going to go about race number 1. I like the exacta 4-1-4 in Parx. Beautiful. Let's put up our picks for race 2, Terry. Let's talk through the conditions, and maybe we can go real fast and just make our picks so our good friend Don Johnson can get his double win.
Okay. So in race 2, I like Mopsy.
No, we're talking about the conditions.
What's that?
The conditions.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. It's a 7 furlongs. It's a claiming race, $7,500 claim price, $21,000 purse for fillies, 3-year-olds, and fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upward.
So if you're looking for speed in race number 2, you'll see here you got a quartet again, the 1, 2, 3, and 6 when I get out to the front. Only the 3 has scored a par race, meaning it has run a speed figure of 74 or more already. So, Terry, only one shown it can win at this level. Who do you think will win at this level in round 2 today?
I like the 5 Mopsy. She won her last race. Parx Racing has today's distance, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. Street of Paris, the 3 is my second choice. Finishing the money in 3 races out of 4 starts at Parx Racing. Won one of those. Has a high percentage winning trainer. Flag Song Flying. 6 is my third choice best. She has the best dirt speed among the today's starters, and she can go the distance. I like the 7, my long shot. She ran 3rd in her last race. She has finished in 100% of her starts at today's distance. I'm going to play the second pick 4. It's 3, 5, 6, 7 with the 3, 6 with the 1, 2, 4, 7 with the 2, 4, 7, $48 ticket.
Real fast, Streets of Paris is going to be your pace setter. Does have the top C-zone. Cutting back in distance will help that horse today. Mopsy, most upside in the race in just its 3rd start. Flag Song Flying, the 6 horse. Up its speed figure in their last 3 races. A little better pace from start to finish. And according to Barry Meadows, 3 consecutive speed figure increases or more is an alpha angle that wins at 15% or more. And then Bruno Barber Girl will be coming late, and closers did do pretty well yesterday. 3, 5, 6, 3, 6, 2, 4, 6, 7, 1, 2, 6, 7 is my Don Johnson pick 4. And that brings us to race number 1. About to get going. We can't broadcast it, but I can describe what I see and let you know what's kind of happening. Nowhere near as polite sounding and soothing as Jessica Paquette, but she might need to talk to that 1 horse because he don't want to run right now. The 3 horse in race number 1 getting off to a pinched start. You have the 4, 5, and 7 all competing for the lead as the race gets started. Is that what we saw in race number 1, Terry? 4, 5, and 7 out front.
Yeah.
We have the 4 and 5. The 2-horse is in that mix as well. So you got the 5 on the lead. 30-1. That would be a nice one for people playing pick 4s if you had the 5 in there. The 5-horse continues to pull the cart at 30-1. Then you got the 7 and the 4 in that mix. Got a whole host of guys coming up on the outside there. Looks like the 7 has taken charge. 4-horse is pulling out right now, so he's kind of done. The 2-horse is getting in the mix as well. The 1-horse, the long shot in there, also getting involved. But it looks like it's going to be a race between the 2, the 7, and the 6 to the finish line, although it looks like the 7 at the moment has the control over the race and nobody else really making up ground on that guy, although the 6-horse on the outside, the 1-horse might be the one that can get to it, but I don't think it will. It's going to go 7 for sure is your winner, then the 1, and then the 6, and then most likely 2. So 7, 1, 6, 2. That is your opening superfecta. 7, 1, 6, and 2. So not a lot of surprises there. The 7 being your 3-2 favorite. The 7 7-1 was the exacta in our simulation odds. The 7 was our top total pace horse. The 7-1 was also our exacta with top total pace. 7, 1, 6, and 2. I think it went in that order. The superfecta, ice cold. So lots of reasons why you should have had the 7, 1, 6, and 2 in the opening race. That's why we make those sheets, folks. You can't get them anywhere else. So Terry's best bet of the day coming up really early in race number 3. Usually doesn't come that quick, but here we are.
Yeah, it's
Terry's best bet. All right, let's see. We got some more comments in here. Race 1 and 4. Race 2, the 6 and the 5. Jonathan Sibkin, 7, 1, 6, and 2. Super rich. Yes, indeed. We got it. Probably going to pay a whole lot like that. Terry's best bet coming up. Help the show. Yes, indeed. Hit that like button. It's free. We greatly appreciate that. A great way to support the show. You can like, share, and comment with your best pick of the day or all of your picks of the day. Let's indeed try to cash some tickets together, particularly in race number 3. Terry's best bet of the day on tap early on. What are they running for your best bet to collect at the end?
It's a mile and 70 yards, claiming race, $5,000 claiming price, purse $18,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won 2 races since November 20th.
Yes, a mile and 70 yards, profile of a winner at $170, early speed 35% of the time. You win the quarter-mile call. You will win the $170 call as well. Inside posts do better than outside posts. So we get to look at some inside speed potential in race number 3, Terry. And once again, we find this one could be giddy up and go time when the gates open.
Yeah, there's 3 horses real close in their data for getting to that lead first. I think, just depends on who gets that best break without any trouble and maybe what jockey makes the best decision. So,
yes, well, we have the 4-horse with a 5-point pace advantage. So that's 1 length. So maybe the 4 can get to the outside of the 3 and clear. If not, better be careful not to get stuck wide. You mentioned jockeys making good decisions, Terry. Well, who will make the best decisions and who's riding for the top trainers?
Well, the 3 is the best jockey according to the data. The 6 has the best trainer, and I think the 6 has the best jockey-trainer combination.
Yeah, good mix in here as well. You mentioned the 6 having the best jockey-trainer combination. It had the best last race speed figure, 11 points, better than everybody else. That's more than 2 lengths. That means a lot of horses need to improve a lot, where the 6 needs to regress. Terry, looking at it, looks like the 6 and a bunch of others have a good chance to make sure they can hit that 84 speed figure today.
Yeah, they sure do. The only other one that hasn't done it is the 5, but it came within 2 points or 3 points of doing that. And then today, the 2, 3, and 6 have some kind of a chance to equal or exceed the par speed number for this race.
Yeah, so we do 1,000 simulations. Again, this is all in the description if you want to find out the explanation for every data point. We do 1,000 simulations where we project speed figures, and this is how many times. So 175 times out of 1,000. Uncle Irish did manage to get a simulated speed figure of 84 or better. Here we're looking for horses that show some improvement. Terry, Early pace improvement for these, a little bit of mid-pace, not a whole lot of improvement. The 6-horse, Uncle Irish, the only one showing faster fractions for both the opening quarter and the second quarter. The 3-horse is your only class dropper, Terry. Our race shape shows us the 4 is a lone E, should be out on the front. Everybody else, middle back. Those races tend to favor speed, Terry. Which horses in here are likely to get good trips? A lot of them, once again.
Yeah, a lot of them have some numbers, except for the 5 doesn't show any numbers. But that one shows the best number as far as being in the C zone. And, of course, 2 and 3 also look like they're going to be very comfortable in here. So
yeah, score over 50% means in half of the races that we did, today's race will match their best performances. Top 4 total pace horses where 70% of the winners come from. Right in there, Terry. The 3, the 2, the 6, and the 4. That 6 with that big last race speed figure, Terry. Anybody going to get to that 6 today?
I don't think so. I think the 6, Uncle Irish, which is my pick of the day, will win this race. He won his last race at Parx Racing, has a high percentage winning trainer, and he can handle today's distance. Then I like the 3, Zap Motion. He finished in the money in 4 races out of the last 6 starts, winning 2 of the races. Drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 2, We Be There, my 3rd choice, finished 3rd in his last race as a favorite, but has a trainer, wins 30% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again, and he has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. And then the 4 is my long shot, Chip's Friend. He likes Parx Racing. He's been in the money 44% of the time, winning 16% of the starts. And at today's distance, he's been in the money 50% of the time, winning 19% of the starts. I'm going to bet $40 to win on number 6, a $10 exacta box 3-6, and then a $10 exacta 6 on top with the 1, 2, 3, 4 running second.
So Jose is agreeing with Terry. Race 3, he likes the 6. I like the 6. That's 3 of us liking the 6. Julio, Bustillos, GRTV, if you're south of the Texas border, and so you're in Mexico, Central America, or South America. On your phone, look up GRTV Horse Racing. There's an app. That way you can watch Parx Racing. That's what we've been told. So make sure you put in GRTV Horse Racing on your phone as the app. All right, I'm going to go with the 6-horse Uncle Irish. Terry should be about mad about now because every time I agree with his best bet, I put the kibosh on it, the moosher, as they said in the movie Bronx Tale. It did run the top last race speed figure, 11 points. It still has upside on top of that, too. So when you see a big number like that, one of the things I want to look at right away is that a peak number? Do I have to be afraid? You do see that the speed figures are increasing, right? But down here we have a 91, and we have an 82 and an 81. So that's not a peak number. So there's room for Uncle Irish to continue on up that speed ladder and do so comfortably. So I'm all right with that. The 3-horse next up for me, Zap Motion, is our simulation favorite. It's also the top total pace horse. Look out for that combination. And this guy should compete for the lead early on. Chip's Friend, his only friend, Terry, apparently, could have the edge early as a lone E. If speed holds up, this is the classic 3rd start after a layoff. And We Be There. Consistent horse, really kind of poor effort in its last race. A potential for a bounce back race, but I'm always a little bit leery when you see a line like this for the horse race number here, the 2-horse. When you see the horse just kind of fade off, boom, 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 it keeps fading at the end. Maybe you see here showed some improvement. Maybe that same pattern about to repeat itself. I don't know. Plus, I'm not a big fan of horses coming from Penn off of weak races. I don't expect them to improve much at Parx. Only 8 races today, Terry. I feel like we're really stealing money from Parx today because usually that's 10. But, hey, we got 8 races tomorrow again at Delaware Park. On Thursday, we have 9 races, I think, at Churchill Downs. On Friday, not quite sure what for Friday entails just yet. Tom will let me know. If you're not watching, you're not winning, Terry. And the best way to watch and win is to do what?
You need to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's very easy to do. It doesn't cost you anything. Hit the little bell. That'll notify you about all the great programs coming up. Go ahead and copy that link at the bottom. Share it with everybody you know so they can come and take a look at us and see what they like. And then go to our social site at X, Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, Threads, and Facebook at Horse Race, the number 2 day. Give us a thumbs up and a like. Keep the comments and picks coming. We really enjoy to see them. They help with our algorithms.
Yes, and I promise you we're about to bring some new content available too throughout the day. You like Terry's best bet now? Wait till he gives you best bets at most of the tracks of the day. Also, there are a couple of patterns that are emerging in our smart sheets that we're going to make available. So we'll let you know all about that. We're just not quite sure we're going to park it yet, but it'll be coming soon. So Tayfam, whomever likes best bets, we're going to load you up at best bets every single day. And horses that have great chances to go wire to wire. Speed demons with great C-zone scores. We're finding those to be very effective combinations. All right, Terry, enough about that. Let's talk about what people come here for, more horse racing.
All right, it's the 4th race. It's 1 mile and 70 yards. A claiming race, $5,000 claiming price, $18,000 purse for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have not won a race since November 20th.
So for 1 mile and 70 yards, you're looking for, as we mentioned, horses that can get to the front and stay there. Being middle forward is the most effective and common way to collect the winner's check and pose for a winner's photo. 35% of the time, it is a wire-to-wire winner. Inside speed does better than outside horses, Terry. But in this case, we have a Buffalo girl on the outside that might be very difficult to catch.
That's right. That 6 shows lots of speed, a lot more speed than anybody else in this race. So it should get that quarter pole first, as long as it gets a nice clean break.
Yeah, I mean, if you look to here, the pace says it's almost a 3-length early speed advantage, and also a pretty strong C-zone over here to boot, the 3rd best. That 6 can get to the lead in a balanced race. Could be catch me if you can. Terry, it looks like the jockey might give that horse every chance to go out there and stay out there too.
Yeah, the 3 is actually the best jockey and also best trainer, although that 6 has a good jockey too, but I think the 3 is the best combination.
Yeah, the 1 looks pretty solid in there too, Empire Score. The 7 horse, hey, this has got to be Private Ross. Some crypto code, 7 with a 7-point last race speed figure. Hey, it's also our simulation odds. There's another one, +7. So we're up to 3 of them now. It's also the horse with the biggest late pace advantage. So you got 7 + 7 + 7 + 7, Terry, 28. It's also a part of our top 4 total pace horses in there, Terry. So what the heck? Should the 7 be our top pick here?
Well, for me, it's not. The 4 is my top pick. Under the radar, he drops in class today, has won 11% of his starts at Parx Racing and likes the distance. Then I like the 2 Olympic Romp. He likes Parx Racing, been in the money 49% of the time, winning 16% of the starts. At today's distance, he's been in the money 54% of the time, winning 27% of the starts. And then I like the 7. He has the highest prime number in the race, 113.4, and he has the highest last speed rating. Then I like the number 1, Empire Scores, my long shot. He has a high percentage winning jockey, and his rail post is winning at 20% clip. No additional bets for me here.
So race 1 results coming right up for you, Julio. Right there, race 1, 7, 1, 6, and 2 was your final order. In my bets, I'm trying to, as I mentioned before, I'm really trying to figure out ways where I can get into these handicapping contests and win. So I'm looking for horses that have edges that maybe can win at a decent price. You see that reflected in my bets. When I put some, because I'm trying to follow Terry's mode a little bit more, where he just kind of isolates one. Because the folks who win those tournaments that I've talked to, they'll go in, let's say it's a $500 buy-in. Usually they'll buy 2 tickets. And they'll put all $500 to win on one horse or some form of bet like this. So I'm going to go with that 6-horse Super John. It didn't grade out as my top pick in there, but I moved it to the top of the list because it does have that incredible early speed advantage over everybody else, where 35% of the horses go wire to wire. I don't see a need for the jockey to really go crazy out front. If he's just patient, maybe a length ahead of everybody else instead of 5 and running 22, could go wire to wire. Macabim, that 7-horse does have all those 7s across the board. We found 28 points together. Top last race speed figure, 7 points. Simulation favorite, and does have more than a length late speed edge. Olympic Romp, the 2-horse, second choice for me, knows how to win at Parx. 31 races and 11 times out of 31, so almost a third of them hitting the tape first. Hitting the tape third 4 times. Second never. So pretty much an all or nothing horse. And then finally, number 4, Under the Radar, Terry's top pick, much better early pace in fractions last time out. I'm going to put 50-cent trifecta box, 2, 4, 6, 7, $5 exacta key box, 6 with the 2, 4, 7, and then 8 to win on the 6. So that's half of my budget right there. Which horse has the biggest rooster? I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I can go a lot of different ways, my friend. So I'm not quite sure the answer to that question because I'm not on the grounds, Terry.
No.
All right. So I do have an answer to the conditions for race number 5, and Terry will about to fill us in on that.
It's a mile and 70 yards, claiming race, $5,000 claiming price. Purse is $18,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since November 20th.
The things people think and say. $170 again favors early speed. What's this? The third one in a row, Terry, at a mile and 70 yards, right?
Yeah.
No, it's the
second.
Yeah. No, it's the third one in a row. Race 3, 4, and 5. Yep. So again, speed on the inside, the best way to win. Do we have any inside speed in race number 5, Terry, as a inside way to win?
Well, we do, but we also have a horse on the outside, or almost on the outside. The 2 and the 6 have the most speed, and they could go head-to-head that quarter pole.
And if we take a look at the pace setup here, too, there's a lot of horses in the same area, so I wouldn't be surprised if the 3, the 1, and the 2 push the 6 wide. Could make for a tough trip for the 6, so keep an eye out on that if you're a 6-backer. If the closers do well, it does look like the 7 has a little bit of a late speed edge over everybody else. The 3-horse, Cobble Road, no improvement last time out. Again, about 9 out of 10 horses that win so far, as we look through the data, showed some level of improvement. 3 class droppers in here, 1 class riser. In the, is that the 4-horse? Yes, the 4-horse moving up a length in class, Terry. Whole lot of these have hit par, a couple of maybes, Terry. Which ones are most likely to do it today, and any betting value in this spot?
Well, yeah, you can see they all have some percentage in the par plus numbers except for the 8. And it appears to me that the 1 and the 2 have the best shot. They have the best par plus numbers, so they could equal or exceed the speed number for this race.
And then as far as overlays, you see anything in there that catches your eye?
Well, the 1 has a small overlay, 7-2 to 9-2, and the 7 has an overlay from 7-2 to 4-1. So they're small overlays. So.
Yeah, and according to our simulation odds, this is a pretty wide open race too. Jocko Hare, that one does have a 5-point last race speed figure edge. Maybe we can see an edge here. You do see the race kind of goes like this, Terry. The 8-horse, however, has not been within 5 lengths of the winner at the finish line. So most of these horses probably, kind of balanced. Terry, which one might get the best trip today?
Well, the 5 shows the best C-zone number. It's over 50% is what we like, and then followed up by that 1. So those 2 horses will be probably pretty comfortable in this race.
And if we look at our speed chart, we see here, this is the top level speed figure relative to every other horse in the race. It's the bottom, so a lot of volatility in a lot of these horses. The one showing the most upside, the red dot, is the average race. You see here the 2-horse, Terry, spouting the best average race. So if everybody runs its average race, Kickstartness wins this race, Terry, and it looks like the jockey will give that class dropper every chance to make good on that.
It will, because it has the best jockey trainer and best jockey trainer combination.
But interestingly, the 2 doesn't make it into our top 4 total pace horses. Again, about 7 out of 10 winners can be found in that grouping. Terry, what is your grouping for race number 5?
Well, I like the 2 Kickstartness. Finished 5th in his last race as a favorite, but has a trainer wins 31% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again. Drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer jockey. Then the 7 Roman Empire, second choice. Finished 3rd versus similar in his last race, has the best dirt speed among today's starters, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. He's actually tied with the 4-horse for the best dirt speed, Midnight Act. He finished 2nd in the last race, and his best dirt speed among today's starters. He's my 3rd choice. Excuse me. And then the 6th is my long shot. He finished 2nd versus in his last race, and he has a high percentage winning speed rating, and he can handle the distance. I'm going to play the last pick 4, Miami Vice, Don Johnson, 2, 4, 6, 7 with the 2, 3, 5, 6 with the 2, 3, finish up with the 3, 5, 6, $48 ticket.
Yeah, kickstarting this doesn't get into our top 4 total pace, but does come over for Jamie Ness and Mikel Sanchez from Laurel. Biggest class drop, and that dynamic duo, even though yesterday they didn't really hit, but they hit with a long shot but missed with their short horses. Roman Empire, the 7 horse, should be fit in the third start after a layoff, coming at the end of the race with some closing kick, as we saw in our smart sheets there, Terry. Top total pace horse as well. Number 1, Artistic Reason, is the simulation favorite in the race. Better across the board with all of its race internals last time out. Again, see that right there. Better early pace, better mid pace, better late pace. Class dropper to boot. And then also the 6 horse, Jock O'Hare, could be on the pace. Does have that top last race speed figure. 5 points better than the next closest horse. Last time out, it ran at this level and just missed by a nose. When I see a lot of times in my comments, just missed by a nose, those horses find their way to the winner's circle. So with that in mind, I'm going to go for 1, 2, 6, 7 by 3, 2, 3, 5 with the 3, 6. We both see that as a 2-horse race, Terry, just different on which horses. And then 1, 3, 6, 7, 8, because I really feel like in the last race, you should probably press the all button.
Yeah.
Because anybody can win that one. Christopher D'Souza, race 5. He likes the 1 to win. And hopefully I have the 1 in my picks because Christopher, yes, I do. Thank you. Because he usually, as I mentioned, takes a grenade and throws them right into our pick 4s. And make those tickets, crumple them up and go toward him. Next up, Terry, is race 6 for us. Take it away.
All right. So in race 6, it's 7 furlongs, a maiden $50,000 purse for maidens and fillies, 3-year-olds and upward.
Yeah, usually these sheets are awesome for the first time, like these maiden races, but particularly when you have first-time starters, we'll get into some of that. 7 furlongs, the first 2 races are like that. Early speed, a third. Win on the lead. Rail is the best for Lady Emily. 2 and 3 get a bonus as well. 4 through 7 a discount. 8 and out are almost fair. And in this race, Terry, some horses with limited experience, so the data is perhaps not as pure. But so far, and this is one of the keys, we're in race 6, right? You want to take a look at these races to see which horses have the best chance to hit par. Only 1 has come close.
Yeah, that's that 3 horses got within 2 points of equaling or exceeding the speed par number. And it also shows that it's got a chance to do it today, which the others all come in at a 0.
They have no chance. It doesn't mean they don't win. It just means all of them might find it hard to hit a speed figure of 80. So maybe they win this race with a figure of 65 or something. But Terry, it does also look like that 3-horse might offer some betting value, provided it doesn't get hammered down by the folks in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's simulated odds are 3-2, and its morning line odds are 7-2. So that's a nice overlay if it happens.
Yeah, sucked up all the oxygen in there. It looks like it does have a good chance to be the tone setter there, Terry. 7-point pace figure advantage over everybody else out of the gate, so about 1.5 lengths. Also looks like it's going to be our speed leader, Terry. Only problem is, oh, no, that's a different horse. I was going to say, look at the jockey on that one, but maybe you steer clear from the 4. Which one would you look at?
Yeah, I would stay clear from that. But the 5 actually has the best jockey, and the 3 has the best trainer, but I think the 5 has the best jockey trainer combination. So
yeah, the 5 so far not within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line. Otherwise, 2 pilots, 1 co-pilot, 2 horses to close, and the 4 horses a Sesame Street horse, Terry. So maybe the 000s will go away for JT's honor today, although it doesn't look like he's going to get a trip that fits its running style. It looks like that 3-horse, Terry, and a couple of others might find today's pace to their liking.
You're correct about that. That 3 has over 80%, and then the 6 is over 50%, and that 50% margin is where we like to see for the C-zone numbers.
Yeah, it's helpful. The top 4 total pace horses, the 5-horse jumping in front of that 3, although they're actually a tie. So when you look at that, maybe you want to go with the horse with higher odds. Interestingly, too, one of the things I like to look at when I look at these sheets is I like to look for what I call the breaks. And what I mean by a break is in points here. You see the 6 horse is 152, So what's that? 14 points higher. So it looks like the 3, the 5, and the 6 are the ones to beat here, Terry. What order did you put him in?
Well, I like the 3. He finished third versus similar to his last race. His early speed running style helps the chances. His best dirt speed is fast among today's starters. Has a high percentage winning trainer. Champagne Mistress, the 5 is my second choice. Has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, can improve while returning to dirt. And then Dadu, the 6 is my third choice. Has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Patient, the 2 is my long shot. He has a high percentage winning trainer and wins 20% of the horses when taking a horse from a maiden claiming to a maiden race. And he has a bullet workout on May 2nd. No additional bets as I'm out of money.
I'm going to go with the 3-2. Le Luana Su should be forward today. Better in the second start after a layoff and does have that top C-zone score. Number 5, Champagne Mischief. Move back to dirt helps. This is the third start in the horse's career. It's an interesting pattern to me. I'm not quite sure what the trainer's thinking here, but who am I to question? You have Mikel Sanchez, the top jock. They brought the horse out, ran an okay race in its debut, showed speed, and then faded. And next time up, they brought it to Laurel on the turf. Really doesn't make sense to me. And then they bring it back to Parx on the dirt. So we'll see if that horse does indeed get to the front and stay there with the top jock. Today, Pat and Phi, another horse in here, making just its third career start. A little bit of improvement from round 1 to round 2. Second place, our good friend, Chris Parmalou's favorite Maiden Angle, finished second in its last race. And then, as you mentioned, Terry, Bullet Workout. So the 2 looks like it's ready to come off the bench, ready to rock and roll. And then the 6 horse, Dadu. April 2nd race works. The other 6 races in this horse's career, yeah, probably not. So that's, what is that, a 1 in 7 chance? Can't rank it any higher than that. No additional bets for me either. I do have a little bit more coming up. Just a minute.
Looks like
race 2 is on its way, Terry.
That's right.
All right, let's go back to race number 2, the second of the 3 pick 4s today. And in race number 2, we also have projected out, a lot of early speed to go after each other here. The 3 horse right now is your favorite at 6-5. So no value there. The 1 horse looks like it has some value. We say it should be 5-1. Right now it's 12-1. The 4 horse at 10-1 versus 6-1 also offers some value. The 7 horse offering value as well, 13-1. The 2 horse, a lot of value in this race if you go away from the favorites. And according to this, the bunch of these horses should get out, should get after each other, the start of the race. So it could be a pretty competitive early pace, which might open the door up for some of these horses like the 5-1 or 4 to come from the back of the pack. Just waiting for a couple of horses to settle down, it looks like. The 1 horse was acting up a bit, and they finally let the gates open. And off to the races they go. The 3 horse, Terry, getting a bad break. The favorite, Streets of Paris. So he didn't get to the front. The 2 horse did get to the front. And then the 4 horse in there giving chase. So we'll see what happens. The 1 horse is pulling up into the mix now, too, as is the 5. I didn't really get off to that fast of a start, I don't feel like. It doesn't look like they're running that hard. The 7 horse is in the back of the pack. The 2 horse right now, stay opportunistic. Got to the lead, staying on the lead, and everybody else going to have to run that guy down. The 3 horse got off to the funky break, has now moved his way confidently into the lead. Looks like that one, Terry, if I had to guess, is just going to run away with this race. Nobody else really making up ground on that horse at all. On the outside, you do have a couple of horses, but they're going to have to go pretty wide. The 1 horse looks like it might get into the mix. The 5 horse is giving a little chase too in there, and the 3 horse at 6-5. I mean, the 5 horse would be the best for us in our pick 4s, Terry. Yeah. I don't know that he's going to get there though. But he's coming. The 3 horse is flattening a little bit. The 6 horse is also getting engaged. The 4 horse all the way on the outside is coming the hardest. The 5 horse is making up some ground, as is the 1. I just don't know that they have enough track to catch that 3. I don't think they're going to. It's going to go 3, 5, 1, 4. 3, 5, 1, and 4 in race number 2. Streets of Paris streaking to the win despite the hesitant start. And, of course, that one went off as our favorite, Terry. Why does that always work like that?
I don't know. Always does, though.
Yeah, so it was the second choice here in our simulation odds, a little bit down the list here in our top total pace, so failing there. But we also see that the 3-horse was the most obvious choice in here, being the only yes horse. Yeah, in other words, the only horse that had so far put together a par race, a second one. Also, the top C-zone horse in there, Terry. So lots of reasons that you might have considered the 3-horse as a staple of your selections in the second start today, and maybe that's why I got bet down so hard.
Could be.
What's next? Delaware tomorrow. Yes, indeed. That'll be fun, Don Johnson. Are you out on the East Coast, Don? Where do you stay, my friend? Are you out in that way? Race 2, Christopher D'Souza had the 2, 3, and 7. And race number 8. Is that where we are? No, we're not on race number 8, Terry. We're on race 7.
Yeah.
Only 2 to go. Man, I feel like, again, like we're stealing money today, Terry, at Parx. We're not earning our dough. Although, speaking of earning dough, in our description on YouTube, we have put a tip jar in there. So if you play some of our picks or you like what we do, you want to help support the show, in the description, you'll see it. Just hit the link, and you can give Terry and I, like baristas, give us a tip. All right. Barista Terry, what's happening in race number 7?
All right, 7 in race 7, we're going to go to 6.5 furlongs. It's an optional claiming race, a $16,000 claiming price. If you elect to put your horse in there to possibly be claimed, the purse $26,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for $16,000 or less, and which have never won 3 races, or a claiming price of $16,000, or have never won 3 races.
If I ever move to like Florida, which is definitely on my to-do list, or maybe even out to like Pennsylvania. I grew up in the Poconos. Wouldn't mind having a summer home up there by the river in the Poconos. It's pretty nice up in there. Some lakes, some nice scenic, just kind of relaxing golf courses, if there's a such thing as relaxing on the golf course. It would be great to put together a syndicate and maybe go to Parx and, claim one of these $16,000 as a group and just start to put together the horse racing today stable, which I think would be incredibly fun. 6.5 furlongs, Terry. It's incredibly fun to win. Stalkers do well, getting on the lead, still 31%, as I mentioned yesterday. There's only 131 in the history of Philadelphia. That's Wilbur Montgomery. Inside horses do better than outside horses. So in race number 6, Terry, do we have any speed on the inside? A little bit. But once again, a Buffalo Girl on the outside might lead the way.
Yeah, the 7 shows the most speed, then followed up by the 3. They all got some kind of speed, but I think the 7 gets a good break. It's going to get that quarter full first.
Yeah, the 3 and the 7 also, their top total pace. Again, we talk about those breaks. So here's a break right in here, as you can see, a little less than 4 points between the 3 and 7. So those 2 should go to the lead. Everybody else kind of gives some chase. Only horse in here that didn't show any improvement last time is the 5. Otherwise, everybody else, a little bit of improvement. If you like better fractions, faster fractions, 3 horses to pick from there, Terry. If you like jockeys and trainers, who would you pick from?
Well, I like the 3 has the best jockey, and the 6 is best trainer, but I think the 6 has the best jockey trainer combination.
If you want a horse like we saw in race number 2 that has a par race on the resume, where would you start?
Well, let's see. You're going to go with the 2, 3, or 6. And then there's 3 other maybes. There's only one that has a no, and that's 5. Mm-hmm. And then as far as what happens today, as you can see there, it looks like that. Let's see, the 2 and 3, and also the 6 and 7 all show pretty nice percentages that they'll make it par speed number for today's race.
Yeah, that 5 horse in here. Look at this. No, 2.8 got a chance. Didn't improve. Moving up in class, Terry, so maybe the 5, I don't know. Putting that one in because we're going to badmouth them a little bit. Our race shape, we have 1 pilot. That is the 3 horse. Should be a part of the lead, so that's all right. The 3 horse also popping a pretty good comfort zone, Terry, so he should be comfortable out on the front, no?
Yeah, should be. It's got 89.95%, which is really good, followed up by that one with the 7. I'm sorry, the 2 with the 79%. So
the 2 or the 3, maybe look out for those 2. You got 3, and you got a whole bunch, 5 in the middle, 1 closer in here. That should favor the horses that get out to the front. The 7 horse, maybe a mini left arrow type. If you're looking for the horses to come at the end, the 2, 4, 6, and 3, and then you got that break again, and then a huge break to the 1. The biggest last race advantage belongs to No Joe. 10-point last race speed figure advantage, Terry. That's 2 lengths. The 3, the 6, the 7, and the 2, they grade out as our top 4 total pace horses. Who's going to win this one, Mr. Terry?
I like the 3 JD Factor. He finished third versus Tupper in his last race. Drops in class today. Has the highest speed figure at today's distance. Best third speed is fastest among today's starters. He has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Lots of boxes marked up. And then I like the 2, 28-3. Finished second in his last race as a favorite, but has a trainer, wins 30% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back again. Has a high percentage winning trainer jockey. Then the 6, No Joe, finished third versus Tupper in his last race. Drops in class, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Third pick. My long shot is Save the Prayer. The 7 has won 2 races out of the last 3 starts. Drops in class today. He has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. I have no additional bets for today.
Hey, Tafum, good to see you again. Same thing with Selçuk. I hope I got that right because, boy, you can pronounce that in a couple different ways that I don't want to screw up all that badly. I'm going to start with the 6-horse Terry is my top choice. That's No Joe with that top last race speed figure. He is a pure track dropper coming in from the Keeneland and Belmont and Aqueduct, Fairgrounds. Horseshoe Indianapolis, about the only one that I would say be on the same place. But he hasn't run at Parx yet. The Jamie Ness horse, JD's Factor, another one coming in from the Naira circuit, usually pretty good. It's also Jamie Ness and Mikel Sanchez. That's always good. But did have a run at Parx and didn't go very well. So the only true track dropper is the 6-horse. Next up on my list is the 7, Save a Prayer. Drops in class. It is the simulation favorite here. The resume says a pop is coming in the second start after layoff. And then 28-3, again, to just discourage the Atlanta Falcon fans forever. Much better early pace and fractions in its last. And you can see that reflected here in our smart sheets. So the 23-8, you see the better pace right up in here. And then you see the better fractions along with the 1. The only 2 horses to put that together, and then the 4-horse putting it from the back end of the race as well, plus early fractions improvement. So some good stuff out of the 4-horse as well. I am going to do $2 to win on the 6. That doesn't make any sense to me, Terry. I don't think that's the case. I think it's supposed to be 4. How much did I have left? I think I had $18 left.
Okay.
I don't know, but it's not 2 to win on the 6. It's whatever I had left to win. So that's 4. That's $8. I had 18. That is $2. So I think it's 6 to win. I have no idea, but I'm going to bet the 6-horse to win. I think it's 6 to win. I have no idea, but whatever it is, that's what I'm putting on there. All right. I think that may take me $99.50 or $100.50. I'm not 100% sure, but some money to win on the 6, a $4 exacta box, 3 and 6. Yes, that's going to be $8 to win because that works out to 10. Perfect. Yes, because I had $18.50. All right, just pressed the wrong button. And then a 10-cent superfecta, 3, 6, all. I don't expect it to pay much, but hopefully the 20-1 shot comes in third. And the final race for you and me today, Terry, will be race 8. But before we go to race number 8, Terry, just a reminder, tell folks how they can join us for Delaware tomorrow, Churchill on Thursday, and whatever pops up for Foreign Friday.
Well, subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's easy to do. Doesn't cost anything. And if you're watching today and haven't subscribed, really appreciate if you would. Hit the little bell so you get notified about all of the different shows coming up. Copy the link below. Share it with everybody you know so they can come and take a look at us. And then as far as our social sites, they're scribing down at the bottom there from the right to the left. If you go ahead and go to one of those at Horse Race, the number 2 day, and give us a thumbs up and a like. Go to all of them, do it. And then go and keep these comments coming and the picks, as we love to see them. Absolutely, 1,000%. Love to see them, and a great way to support the show. Terry, as always, as I mentioned today, we do have something new, and certainly we hope that you'll take advantage of it. Hey, this is Rich. Every dollar you tip helps us create more racing insights, more best bets, more content. Please find the tip jar link in the description wherever you're watching. Oops, we lost Rich. I hope he gets right back. So anyway, well, here he comes. Here comes Rich now.
Supposed to pop out there, Terry. That was an interesting. What do you guys think of my video that I stayed up late last night creating there?
Yeah.
I think apparently StreamYard didn't like it because it just said, "Hey, adios, amigo," right?
That's what he said. They said, yeah.
Yes, just get out of here. Anyway, there is a link to the tip jar. We'd greatly appreciate it if you went ahead and supported the show that way. All right, Terry, for the last time today, we are going to do race number 8. Tell us about the conditions for the 8th spot.
Well, we're going to go at 6 furlongs. The maiden claiming race, $15,000 claiming price, purse $19,000 for maidens 3-year-olds.
Yes, indeed. For 6 furlongs, you're looking for early speed, Terry. A bunch. Go wire to wire about 31% of the time. The rail is the best position to own, at least before the race starts. 2 and 3, they play fair. 4 through 7, they get hit hard. 8 and out is almost fair. So, Terry, if you wear a 1, you wear a 2, you wear a 3 in race number 8, and you got some speed, you got a good chance, one of those qualifies.
Yeah, that 2 has the most speed in this race, according to the data, followed up by the 5. So the 2 should get out there to the quarter pole first, unless that 5 has something to say about it.
Looks like the 2 is a big overlay as well.
It is. It goes from 8 to 5 to a nice 6 to 1.
Yeah. Any others in there that maybe can be scary? Not really.
No, not really. I don't see another overlay in there. So
in race number 2, we had 1 yes horse. Yep. And in race number 8, we have 1 yes horse. That's Bride of War, the 5 horse, Terry. Mm-hmm. Any others in here that got a good chance to maybe add a yes to the resumes?
The one that shows the best chances of 2 is it's got 45.7%. But you also have 3, 4, 5, and 7 that shows some kind of a chance of equaling or exceeding the par speed number for today's race.
Yeah, only a few showing some improvement last time out. So no 1, no 3, no 4, no 8, no 9 on the improvement front. Got a couple in here dropping in class. So what's important about this race, Terry, as I mentioned early on, I kind of foreshadowed race number 8. You got a bunch of horses seeking their first win, only 1 yes horse. So when you see maybes and no's, that should be time for your antenna to go up. Tell me a little bit about the first time starter or starters. In this case, there's 1 of them, the 8 horse. Right. And anytime they have a score of 2.5 or more out of the possible 3, and you got a bunch of no's and maybes, maybe 1 yes, you absolutely 1,000% have to consider that horse for your selections. As far as our race shape is concerned, Terry, everybody wants to be middle back, except for the 4 and the 3. The 1, 6, and 9, not within 5 lengths of the winner at the finish line. So maybe, Terry, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 7, and the 8 are worthy of consideration. Which ones did you consider?
Okay, well, I like in this race the 6. Stone Cold Reaction. Finished 3rd in his last race, has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 23% of the races when using second-time Lasix, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. Then I like the 3 Master Tweets. He finished 2nd in his last race, has the highest last speed rating, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. Then I like Bride of War, the 5, drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 22% of the maiden claiming races. He has a horse running in, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. Then the 7 is my long shot. He ran 2nd versus similar in his last race, and he has the highest last speed rating. There you go.
So our good friend Private Ross says he's thinking about doing a show on Rumble where he can talk about the translation of Barry Meadows' book, The Skeptical Handicapper. There's a lot of data in there for sure. I actually have, and it may be coming in the not too distant future. I did go through Barry Meadows' book, and I highlighted every single angle in his book from all of the data that wins at 15% or more. I call them alpha angles. And the reason I call them alpha angles is in the stock market excess return. So if the NASDAQ, let's say the S&P makes 10%, and you're an S&P manager and your mutual fund makes 11%, that 1% difference is called alpha because it's excess return. The average American race has 8 horses in it, a little bit less than that. So 1 out of 8, when the gates open, you have a 12.5% chance to win. So any angle that wins at 12.5% or more than 12.5%, I set the bar at 15%. that's a win rate that's disproportionate to the average race in the United States. So I call them alpha angles. Went through all of them. I have it in an Excel sheet. And if you do support the show by getting some gear or hitting the tip jar, that'll open up the opportunity for us to spend more time and money for development. And we'll actually bring all those alpha angles to the front so that you won't have to translate that book. We'll have done it for you. All right, Terry. In the final race of the day today, I like the 6-horse Stone Cold Reaction. Is my top pick too. Speed and Fade last time out. Maybe having a dose of Lasix for the second time is the answer to stop fading at the end. Number 8, Midnight Dreamer. First timer versus only one yes horse. Everybody else, a few maybes. And the rest are no's. So you got to have it. Number 7, Sweet Winner. Just missed in its last race and getting extra half per furlong today. Would have made the difference then. Maybe it makes the difference today. And then the 1 horse, Hold Synergy. It's the only maiden special weight dropper in the field. Gets first Lasix today. So obviously something went wrong in that debut race. And he has the most upside in just the second career start. So you have to really keep that in mind when you're doing your selections. I am going to go with the $1 trifecta, 50-cent trifecta, 1678 over the 678 overall, hoping that I can catch some nice prices along the way. And that pays more than, I think, $22.50 is what that ticket cost.
Okay.
All right, folks. Any final thoughts from you, Terry, before we wind up and get out of here today?
Well, I just want to say I'm glad to see everybody joined us today. Tafon came back after a couple of weeks, and Christopher, Private Ross, Jose, and Don Johnson. And I want to say Christopher D'Souza also has a best bet in the third race of number 2, so he might just beat my best bet. He's done that a couple of times, and it's paid pretty nice when he did that. Other than that, take it easy, be safe, have a great rest of the week. I'll see you tomorrow.
So in the first 2 races, the 7-1, and then I think the 3-1, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, favorites across the board, no big deal. So we have the remainder of the day looking like this. Terry's best bet coming up right now with that 6-horse, as is Christopher D'Souza's. Looking at the board right now, Christopher getting 9-2, Terry getting 1-1. So maybe a nice 6-2 exacta box for big bucks could pay off for you. And then the next bet for me is in race number 4. That is the 50-cent trifecta box, 2467, 60 to 247. And then in race number 5, we have our third, Don Johnson, pick 4s. And then I have bet in race number 7, 8 to win on the 6, $4 exacta box, 3-6, 10 cents super, 3-6 all. And then a nice trifecta in a wide open race to close it out for today. Again, tomorrow we will do Delaware Park. Thursday, we will do Churchill Downs. Friday, we'll do some international track of Tom's choice. Until then, folks, so we get back together for all that. Oh, reminder too, free picks at Guaranteed Tip Sheet, link in the description below. Today's track, Terry, is Horseshoe Indianapolis. Tafom, I know you like that. Just head on to the link in the description. Click on that for that sloppy track today. And then over at horseracingtoday.net in just a few minutes, we'll post our picks, a race replay. We will timestamp every race in the description on YouTube, so you can come back and watch each at your leisure. We do have links to the smart sheets as well as the description on how to use them. And when you're at HRT Gear, sorry, folks, get yourself a Horse Racing Today t-shirt or hat like Terry's sporting, and that's that. So no matter what you're doing for the rest of this day, we certainly hope it's filled with God's grace, God's favor, and every single thing that you do ends up in
the winner's circle.
We'll see you mañana. Make it a fantastic, terrific Terry Tuesday.